Well, first, I met my husband in Central Asia, where we lived in Kyrgyzstan. We were matched with from friends. Long story short.
I went up to Siberia in the middle of winter, met her, and 3 months later we were married. Yeah, so it was pretty fast. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Kanybek had a special start in life. He was actually found in a box in a heating station in the city of Bishkek. So he was very weak from the beginning, and then he was diagnosed at birth with a cerebral palsy. What I read from the records, they tried to abort him. He has actually only one side of his brain, and the other side is basically not existing or empty, filled with water. I knew him as one of the weakest kids in the orphanage we worked. So he was always in my heart, but I was not seeing him that regularly, and I just heard also that he's going to be transported soon to another orphanage, which we just found out it was a very dangerous place. When I heard he gets transported, I called in and I said, I'm going to take him.
Cornelia told me that there was an emergency crisis. A boy who she had her eye on for several years was going to be moved to another orphanage, and she heard some terrible things about this orphanage. She was afraid that that his organs were going to be harvested. And so she asked me if I'd be interested in meeting a boy with special needs, and I wanted to meet him. So on the day that he was being moved, she took me out to the orphanage about an hour and a half away, and a boy came shuffling up to me on his knees. He couldn't walk at that time, but he could kind of shuffle on his knees. He came shuffling up to me on his knees and said, "Papa," and wrapped his arms around my legs and just gave me the biggest hug. And so for me, that was like all I needed. That was Kanybek, and that was the one that Cornelia wanted me to meet. And yeah, and we have a very interesting father-son relationship, and have, I believe, ever since that day. He developed seizures and would just fall. And at first he was pretty small, but he's quite tall, and his falls can be deadly. If he falls on a corner or something, we needed to be by him all the time.
We had OT coming, assessing, and after that we had about 5 companies coming. Companies came and just disappeared. Another company came and said, we can't do this. The third company said, we only have equipment for people with paraplegia, right? Very distinguished equipment. So the big difference with Gambit compared with other companies was, I felt the first time he was completely interested to listen to us.
When I walked in and I met the Hewitt family, one of the ideas was, let's pad the walls. And if Kanybek falls, at least it'll have a soft surface. But what happens if Kanybek falls on the toilet? That could be very dangerous. So we came up with a solution of redesigning the entire bathroom and making the walls shorter and installing an overhead lift. And every time Kanybek would take a shower or go into the bathroom, it would be hooked on. And that way he can go into the shower, over the toilet, next to the sink, and he could always be hooked on. And if he was to have a seizure, it would hold him up. So we came back to the showroom, we tried the harness on, it worked really well, and we implemented it, and it was a win situation.
From the beginning to the end, a very, very good communication and very helpful ideas, and also application, really.
They were clean, they were very, very respectful, and very, very professional. And they were great with Kanybek and the boys too. So yeah, so it was a great team. What it's brought to Kanybek is kind of the biggest gift to our family.
For his development, this is very big. He's a happier kid, actually, and proud of having his bathroom. And not afraid to go in there. He was afraid to go to the bathroom. I really, really encourage you not to give up till you find a solution, and to believe that there is a way that can really help.